Hello, and oh, this is not the one I want. Where's the one I want? This one. Here we go. Hello, everyone. Hello, and welcome to Desperation The Isabel. And this is a one-shot of a brand new game that is currently in crowdfunding under GameFound, and there's a link for that that I'm just going to put in a command so you can see it right over here. Desperation. Ooh, right there. A brand new game by Jason Morningstar of Bully Pulpit Games, which is a card-driven game like For the Queen or A Quiet Year, if you know them. And it's a system that's made to explore the relationships between people, and it's about who says what and how do people who are pushed back past their limits, how do they survive or not? It is sometimes called a survival horror game without the survival. And there are two scenarios that are currently being kickstarted as part of this game. The Isabel, which is the one that we are playing, which is about a cod schooner in the Gulf of Alaska in 1888. That, spoilers, it does not go well. This is what happens. And then the other one, which will be being played next week, is Dead House, which is about a blizzard in a prairie in Kansas in 1888, where it also does not go well. So I thought to myself, I need people who I can invite to play this game with me, which you don't need prep for, you don't need a GM for. I need people who I think will be really great in bringing out like some really good drama and some good storytelling. And I could not think of cooler people than the people around me at this virtual table right now. So I would like to have each one of us introduce who you are and, what you're up to. And I don't know if you have any relationship to fishing or 1888 or COD, those things. I will say I'm troopersjp, and my relationship to COD is I prefer my fish and chips with cod rather than haddock. I always had my fish and chips with cod. I had haddock recently. I didn't like it. I want cod in my fish and chips. That's my relationship. So that's me. And why don't I go next to the Brandy Rose?
Hi, everybody. I am Brandy Rose, pronounced they, them. I am a TTRPG performer, creator, designer, producer, director. And let's see, every time I get a period project, even thrown at me, at this point now, I would jump on that immediately. So because of Trooper, because my tie to 1800 anything is that we got to do Haunted West together, and that has set me on a love of doing period piece TTRPGs. Put me in TTRPG Bridget and Wen. But yes, I'm super excited. So yeah, fishing. My tie to fishing is, I think I realized as a kid, that is something that dads do. And I looked at my dad and I went, "Do you fish?" And he said, "Hell no." And that's about that. And you can't get me on a dock. I love sailing, but you can't get me on a fishing dock. I used to live in Istanbul. You've never smelled a smell so smelly as walking by the fish market on the Bosphorus. It will haunt you. It will get in your clothes. And one time I went whale watching, and a whale did and we smelled like fish for 4 days and many showers. So that's about my relationship to fish, to this, to them, to all of that.
That's fair. Drac.
Yeah, hi. I'm Draconics, or Jack for short. I use he, they pronouns. I'm a teacher, performer, streamer, producer, all of that good stuff. My connection to fishing. I think my connection to fishing is that I have a really great fish and chip shop down the road.
Nice.
The boss man always gives me an extra chips, extra fish whenever I come around. So I think that's the closest tie to fish I have. COD specifically, not a fan of Call of Duty. Not really a first-person shooter kind of person.
I know,
yeah,
right?
I'm very much I'm not a fish. I don't. I'm one of the people who enjoy staying indoors as much as possible. So any outdoor stuff like fishing just isn't my thing.
Fair. Okay. Lindy, however, I know is a gardener, so maybe, I don't know. So, Lindy, how about you?
I do garden a lot. I have a grandpa who is obsessed with fishing and all things fish. I also live on the Gulf Coast, so I am inundated with fish adjacent and fish things constantly. Every year, nearby, there's a mullet festival. Not the hare, the fish. There's the mullet toss. There's all sorts you basically play games with dead fish. And it's interesting and it smells. And it's, one of those weird Southern traditions that's just there. I myself, having grown up around this, I'm not a big fan of seafood. I like salmon because it doesn't taste fishy. It just tastes like salmon. Though I have eaten fish and chips once or twice and I didn't dislike it. Everything's better when it's breaded and fried, right? So fish, I smell it a lot.
I know gay pride is a thing, but I never thought I'd feel gay disappointment like I just did when you said it's not mullet the hair.
No, although
I was like, a butch mullet
South.
Festival?
Yes!
So there's a lot of mullets at the mullet festival with the fish because, again, deep south. So
that's fair. Because, again, you do want...
a lot of business up front, party in the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I'm thinking about a lot of denim. I'm just... Okay.
There's also that.
Oh.
Yes, and plaid and camo.
Trooper and I have now been sufficiently distracted.
I know. Strix. My ADHD brain's going to go right to like some big old like late 80s, early 90s queer mullet festival. And I just want you to know that is happening. There's a lot of Melissa Etheridge being played in the background. Strix?
Yeah, so I'm Strix. I'm one of the co-creators of Bluebeard's Bride. So I definitely love games where everybody is miserable and dies at the end. Super jazzed for today. My full-time job is that I'm a narrative director at a AAA video game company where we're currently making a very large Dungeons and Dragons video game. I used to stream quite a lot with Hyper RPG. I actually see a lot of old friends in chat, so that's wonderful to see you folks. And my relationship to fish is very intimate, actually. I'm a free diver here in the Pacific Northwest, so I dive in cold water all the time without oxygen. And during crabbing season and sea urchin season, I will actually harvest Dungeness crabs and sea urchins and bring them home and eat them.
Wow.
So the ocean feeds me. I love diving so much. My husband calls me the mermaid. And I prefer to be near the water whenever possible. So the ocean and fish and water, big part of my life.
I grew up in San Francisco, so like the Pacific Ocean is my joy. I will say there's a documentary, if you've not seen it, I think it's called something like Integrate Liquid, and it's a surfing... Step
into Liquid, maybe?
Yes, that's the one. Step into Liquid.
Yes.
Thank you. Right, by the children of the fellow who did Endless Summer. And there's this sequence where they're catching somebody who's like do these big wave surfers where they get sort of like towed into the waves because you cannot swim into the waves, and like they get caught like an 80-foot wave, and I was like, oh my. If you fell off, you just die. Okay, but like, because that's
that happens a lot.
Because it's like a skyscraper, like it's a skyscraper wave, and I thought about that quite a lot, and I will be thinking about skyscraper waves as we dive into the Isabel.
Oh, no.
Well, yeah, you hopefully we hit a rogue wave when we're on the Isabel. You know what a rogue wave is, right?
It has nothing to do with Rogue One.
Oh yeah.
No. So rogue waves are a phenomenon that we actually don't understand why they happen.
Ooh.
So even on a calm ocean, right? There's no storm, there's no wind, there's no tsunami. Sometimes 100-foot waves just come out of nowhere. They're called rogue waves, and they sink ships. In fact, if you look at how many ships sink every year, like now in the year 2022, many ships sink, way more than you would think. Like if an airplane went down as many times as a ship sinks in a year, we'd shut down the aviation industry. So
wow. Okay.
Oh.
How many of them are around the Bermuda Triangle?
not that many.
See, this is what you would think, right? You're like, sharks don't attack people that often.
No, there's other things happening in the Bermuda Triangle. I suspect eldritch influence.
I have heard that, actually. I've heard there is a problem with Cthulhu's just waking up.
They happen.
Causing trouble.
Multiple Cthulhu's.
All those Cthulhu's.
All those Cthulhu's. So many.
So this game is very... I'm going to go bring us over to the sort of the map so everybody there in chat can see it. So this is a card-based game, and you create a deck of cards, and we play through the cards together. And one of the sort of, I suppose, design innovations of this one is that in many RPGs, you say what you do is you have a character and you say what you say. That's what you say, what you say. But in this particular game, we have a cast of characters who are on this boat. And we're going to talk about who they are. And we get these cards, which are prompts that have words that someone says, probably not great words, and we decide who says them. And it would be a big difference if the captain of the ship says this thing versus if a passenger says it. And so we will together sort of create this story of what happens to this doomed ship and the ship's inhabitants and who they are and what their lives are like. So we have, just so you all know, we have safety tools in place. We will be using OK check-in in Zoom so that if we're in a scene, we want to make sure everybody's fine. We can do a little O with a question mark to check in with everyone. And if we're feeling good, we'll do a little O with an exclamation point in our Zoom chat. If we're like, where we're at is okay, but let us not escalate, let's kind of stay here, we can put an N in chat so we know not to get more intense. And if we put an X in chat, we're like, let's just put this to a close and just move that aside so that we can have fun and we can actually really go into it and knowing that we're going into places that's fun anxiety and not unfun anxiety. We are also using the X card, red, yellow, and green, and that's in our Roll20. And so we can also just throw those cards at any time. And the green is saying, hey, this is really cool. This is really fun. Keep going. This is awesome. Just like that. And you'll be able to see it here in the chat if we use it. Also, we have our yellow card, which is slow down. Let's not escalate where we're at. It's getting a little bit close, right, to a place where I'm feeling uncomfortable, so let's just stay where we're at. And then we have our red card, which is like, now we've got to a space where I'm not feeling great about it, so let's stop it and retcon it, move on. And I always think it's really important to think about safety tools in that you can say, oh, I know my friends, all my friends, we're all like, we know each other, we don't need these safety tools. But what I think is really interesting to note is that people can be in a different mood one day than they are a different day, right? Some days you might be totally fine with everything, but some days you might have just had stuff going on and you didn't even realize actually that this one thing is just not cool for you right now, and so it's a way to just make sure that we're all having fun, especially when you're playing horror games or really intense games, because you want people to be in a good space. We also have lines and veils, invitations in terms of like, let's have more of this, and heads up for things that might be happening in the game. And this particular game has a very cool mechanic where all the cards that we have that we're playing through, they have topics associated with them. And they've listed what those topics are and what the numbers are. And so you can go through and you can say, hey, let's just take out all references to this because I don't really want that in the game. You just pull those cards out and then they're not in there. So it's a really neat way to sort of think about how to customize and adjust the game for your comfort as well. So that's pretty neat. And I am pretty excited to start us off. And so I suppose I'll just set the scene for us. It is 1888 and we are aboard the Isabel, which is a 3-masted cod schooner in the Gulf of Alaska. And the first things that we do as a group is to pull out the 4 location cards, which are the bow, the foredeck, the cabins, and the boat deck. And they're already on the table for us. But I would like each one of us to, I just started, so I want to go with, let's go with Brandy. If you would maybe take one of those 4, and if you click on, if you right click on it, you can flip that card so you can get the text on the back.
Right.
And read it to yourself first, and then read it aloud to us.
So one of the cards that's on the
Top row.
middle right.
Yeah, so
top row.
bow, foredeck, cabins, or boat deck. And this makes up the Isabel.
Oh boy. Oops, I gotta zoom in.
Yeah, if you hit the Z, you'll zoom in once you click on it.
Oh, cool.
Right? Nice.
I love it. I love because every time I play anything on Roll20, somebody explains a new thing to me, and I'm just like, whoa, that's cool. Amazing. All right. Share it with you guys, right?
Yeah, just read it to us and let us know what you got.
Cabins. These cabins for the master and his passengers are compact, tidy, and safe for the permanent and unavoidable smell of fish that permeates every corner of the Isabel. Quite pleasant. Put this card between the boat deck and the foredeck.
And it is placed there. So tell me, just why don't you just, because every time you read a card, you can say something a little bit more about it if you like.
Let's see. Well, I think that the cabins is Z up again, just because I like having that up there. Safe for the smell of fish, which I'm sure most of us are probably very used to. I would like to think that, interestingly, the master's cabin and passenger's cabin, crew cabins, are all the same size. There is no like, oh, this is the master's cabin. It's like 3 times the size. No, they are all the same.
Okay. And let's go with Drac. And we're just going to sort of follow this circle.
Okay, sounds good. So let's pick one of the remaining 3, right? I'll pick the bow. Bow. These are the berths where the mates sleep in cupboard-like rooms, and it is hammocks for everyone else. The various lockers, chain, sail, forepeak are wedged in wherever there is room. The cook, Lestenkopf, prepares meals here, which are consumed with gratitude or trepidation. Put this card at the bow of the Isabel next to the foredeck.
What else do you want to tell us about it?
Oh, I think when Lestenkopf cooks breakfast, I think that's usually what wakes people up, the smell of cooking. It's not like anyone coming to the rooms to wake everyone up. It's just the smell of the cooking, and maybe like they hear into the pots and pans going on through the walls. I think that's what wakes everyone up.
Okay, Lindy, you've got foredeck or boat deck?
That's muted. Let's go with the boat deck. I like boats. This is the boat deck, an open area at the rear of the Isabel where the business of fishing is done. The dories are stacked like pancakes, upended on the taffrail here. Looking forward past the wheelhouse, there is a magnificent view of the spread of 2 gaff-rigged sails. Yeah, so I think this open area where all the dories are stacked like pancakes is probably one of the least cluttered areas of the ship, because it would be a safety hazard. Trip over stuff trying to get the dories or anything. Also, maybe a bit of less fishy air.
Okay. Strix, that gives you the foredeck.
Okay, flip the card. You need to read it. So, this is the foredeck, dominated by the hatch over the ship's hold, currently stuffed to bursting with salted cod. This is where the business of sailing is done. So, if you take a close look at the foredeck, you can see that this ship is old. Paint that used to be fresh is peeling. Splinters kind of appear out of nowhere, no matter how many times the crew carefully sands it down. And most troublingly, the hold is so full that you can almost sense a bowing of the timbers around the weight of the freight.
All right. There are some other locations, but we will not be dealing with them yet. Next, we go into the people. We're each going to pull a card, pull a person, read the information about the person to ourselves first, and then out loud, and then we can speak our truth. And when we speak our truth, we can sort of continue on with the dialogue of that person, say more about them, what they're thinking and feeling. We can narrate something about the ship and the story in that moment with this person, or we can pull in a scene with that person and someone else. So I suppose it's my go, and I'll pick this top person, Holmes. Holmes, let's see. Let's flip Holmes over. Holmes. I'm a simpleton, but my heart is sweet as candy, and I'm glad to work hard among friends. For those that laugh at my infirmity, let God judge them. I'm likable, but careless. Put this card next to the foredeck card and speak Holmes's truth. Holmes does a lot of work, like hauling the cod, right, the catch. And as a matter of fact, Holmes, I think, is quite proud of the fact that he can lift more than anyone does, and he tends to a little bit overwork. But Holmes is also, I'd say, maybe mid-20s, and has got that side of energy of youth, has not been sailing long. He's only been for a couple of years, maybe 2 or 3 or 4, so still has the energy to lift lots and lots of heavy loads that sometimes make other people maybe not look so good, but those other people understand that you have to pace yourself if you're going to be doing this for decades. And I think that Holmes has not yet learned that lesson. And I also think that Holmes is perhaps a little bit smarter than they let on. And we don't know why, but I think, like, we don't know what that's about, but I think Holmes is a little bit smarter than they let on. And I think sort of in this one of these moments, as the ship is bowing, the timbers are bowing from this huge catch, you see Holmes sort of standing by the foredeck, sort of tamping with his foot on some of the timbers, and sort of in some ways sort of lightly investigating and noting with a bit of concern on their face, sort of a weakness in the timber, but doesn't actually say anything, notes it, and moves back to work. And that will be Holmes. Brandy.
Boy, so I have picked I have picked David Towns. Flip him over. Ooh. My wife Lilas is a genius who positively burns with the light of the Lord, and it is my role in this life to assist her in her ministry. I myself am nothing, but Lilas has been guided by the hand of God, and I will in every way ease her path, even if it takes us to the frightful backwaters of Alaska. I am clever, but demanding. Put this card next to the cabin's card and speak Towns' truth. Look, I love a female supremacist here. I love a wife guy. I feel that's who he is. I feel he is wife guy. And I feel like maybe what happened here is that he I feel like he met Lilas when he was in a very difficult life situation and did what many people do, which is try to plug whatever hole they have with love for another person. And this has become like the overarching dynamic. And I think it's not even necessarily demanded of him to be this devoted, but he feels like his life is divided in before meeting Lilas and after meeting Lilas, and that it's hard for him to not put her on a pedestal.
Ooh. Drac is getting a phone call, so Lindy, why don't you go next?
Certainly. Let's select Portugal the man here. Okay. My name is Ernesto Bautista Macabalang, and I'm not Portuguese, but I'm also not a man who catalogs his indignities. I've been on the Isabel since she was christened, and that she has been sadly neglected of late. I think this will be my last jaunt aboard the old girl. I am experienced but fragile. Put this card next to the bow card and speak Portugal's truth. So I think Portugal, again, not Portuguese, not his name. Our dear friend Portugal here. He's been on this ship a long time. I think he's very attached to the Isabel, and has noted the neglect, and thinks that this will be his last jaunt aboard the old girl, not just because he's retiring.
Oh.
I think he suspects this might be Isabel's last jaunt as well.
Oh my.
And he's determined to make the best of it.
Okay. Strix.
Where did it go?
There you go.
Okay, yeah. Technical difficulties.
It's roll 20. You know how it is.
Yeah, and Z. I'm learning and you're learning. Okay. Lestenkoff. Every morning I am up at 3 baking bread, as much to mask the stench of bilge water and kerosene as to feed the crew and passengers. I hate cod, but I love my job and I love men. I am cheerful but manipulative. Okay, put this card next to the bow card and speak Listenkoff's truth. Okay, this one's super easy. I am in love with Holmes and will not leave this ship as long as Holmes is here.
I'm sure nothing bad is going to happen to anybody
Not
on the
at all.
ship. Drac, it's you.
Yes. Okay. I am Captain Nicholson. Flip. Captain Nicholson. I am master of the Isabel and make my money when we are a happy crew and heavy with fish. On this journey, against my better judgment, I have brought my daughter Anne. Oh no. She wanted to see the world, and this is my part of it. And the fresh air at least will do her some good. I'm calm but troubled. Put this card next to the cabins and speak Nicholson's truth. I think he's kind of hoping that Anne will see what he does as a living and maybe want to take it up after him. To the very least, you can see some of the world. I think he's troubled about letting her see any more than he's seen, I think. And if he's certain that she's going to take up his line of business, he'll actually at least have that peace of mind that she won't get too far into unknown, at least where he's concerned.
All right. That puts me at Gordon. Let's see. All right, Gordon. What do we have here? Who are you? The universal truth of human nature is that we're all craven, mendacious fools. So it's best not to form too strong an attachment in close quarters. I'll keep my peace and I'll drink my own whiskey. I'm competent, but I am perpetually drunk. Put this card next to the bows card and speak Gordon's truth. I think it's a moment where Gordon is sitting on the boat deck, perhaps, and I think the captain comes in and perhaps has something to say about Gordon's inebriation. So would somebody care to be the captain for this moment?
Yeah, I'll be the captain.
All right.
Let's get this Gordon. Gordon, are you...
Captain?
Gordon,
Yep.
drunk again. Okay.
Yep.
We've just woken up less than an hour ago. How are you drunk already?
I've got secret stores. You may not know this, Captain, but there's, less
You
than
have
coffee
secret
knows.
stores.
Yes, there are secret spots in this ship where you can just hide things.
Okay. Yeah, yes.
Like
Would
whiskey.
you mind showing me where you keep these?
Then you drink it. You're the type to steal somebody's whiskey, I can tell.
Gordon, I have you on my ship to be useful, not a drunk.
I'm useful. Check. Everything's clean. I cleaned it. You look old.
Yes. And I'll be honest, interacting with you is not making it any better.
Well,
Gordon, sober up, please.
Aye. Let me go swab the deck.
Yes, you go and do that.
Gordon sort of gets up, takes this sort of old, ragged mop that has seen way better days, and goes back to swabbing the deck.
And the captain just sighs and shakes his head and walks off.
Brandy.
Boy. Oh. Here we go. And Nicholson. The deal I made with my mother was that she could send me to whatever blue stocking finishing school she wanted if I could spend the summer aboard the Isabel with my father. She agreed and chose Miss Brackett's school in New York City, which I shall hate. I am enthusiastic, but sheltered. Ooh.
Where does she hang out, by the way?
Where does she hang out? I think she hangs out. I think she tried to hang out in the crow's nest and gave everybody half a heart attack. Just seeing her try to climb up there, and they were like, maybe don't do that. So I think the next best thing is she hangs out on deck, especially the foredeck, as much as possible because she just likes being on the ocean and she wants to see the ocean. And honestly, she would really, really like to spend her life on the ocean. And in her head, I think she would like to be kind of a pirate because I don't think she really understands what a pirate is. There it goes next to the cabins.
Let's continue our order as we had done it. So, Lindy.
That's me. Let's see. Oop. Got this guy whose name is too small for me to read right now. Khalif. I am first mate and a loot. The Shumagins are home to me and I know them well, but I left on a ship once and now I don't belong there any more than I belong in San Francisco. I am steady but lonely. Put this card next to the boat deck card and speak Khalif's truth. I think Khalif is one of those people who just really can't put down roots anywhere. And is like, oh yes, the sea is my home because you're always changing ports. Maybe would like to put down roots somewhere, but again, I think he's got commitment issues, to both like heart and home. So a lot of broken hearts left in Khalif's wake at many a port.
How many of them are his? Would be my question. How many are his broken hearts? I don't know.
You know, he doesn't want to talk about it.
Oh,
It's fine. Yeah, deck.
Yeah, come by those dories. Strix, it's you.
Right, let's do it. I'm trying to flip the card.
If you pull it out, you can flip it easier that way.
Yeah, it's not moving now.
Sweetheart, where are you? Brown, yeah?
I know I'm having technical
Kenneth,
difficulties.
it's in her inventory.
It's in my.
I see.
How do I get it out?
Yeah.
Oh.
Just drag it.
Yeah. Just click on your name and you'll pop up your inventory.
It'll pop it out and you can just drag it out.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, that's not intuitive.
No.
All right. Flip card. All right, Kenneth. I have never been out of sight of land before, and it thrills me. Here I am, the son of a tar boiler, and on a grand schooner in Alaska. I'm excitable, but unsophisticated. And my truth. Put this next to the 4-deck card and speak. Okay, we don't have 4-deck?
4-deck's over there in the
Okay. My truth is that I am smuggling illegal contraband because my family is out of money, my children are starving, and I am running away from them to start a new life with the little that I have left, which is some jewelry I pocketed from one of the jewelry stores in my town before I got on this ship.
Ooh. I see you, Kenneth. I see you. Drac, I think that's your Brown up there.
Okay, Brown. Okay, yeah. Flip that card. Brown. As second mate, it falls to me to manage the business affairs of this accursed scow, and our business is fish. So I do the same work of all the others and account cod tongues and keep a tidy receipt. I'm fair but harsh. Put this card next to the... Oh, for some reason I have something blocking the word, but 4-deck, I think that is. Yeah, let's put it in the 4-deck.
Yeah.
I think my truth is... actually, how... I think my truth is, though I'm fair but harsh, or harsh but fair, I do think Brown has a soft spot for Anne, just because it's just because I think he sees his daughter in Anne, so he's kind of like definitely like gives Anne a bit more, like gets Dushenkov to give Anne more food or offer some of his food. Immediately helps out when he sees Anne is doing any physical labor kind of work on the ship, which I feel like she's probably one to tend to do even if she doesn't need to. Yeah, I think Brown has a soft spot for Anne, so it definitely has like a positive bias for her whenever she's involved.
All right. This makes me Harris. Let's see. Harris. Let me flip you and see what you have to say. Who are you? You know, I would be anywhere else if I had my druthers, but like the cogs in a wheel, I require the money this trip will bring to realize my further ambitions. You can laugh if you must, but I wish to be an actor, you know, on the stage. So for now, it's fish heads for me, 4 months above board this leaky tub. And by the way, it is leaking. But I am ambitious, but cynical. I mean, I don't know. Put this card next to the bow card and speak Harris's truth. I don't know, when I think about it, I think people like me, they never get to go and be famous or become great actors, but I think I can do it. And if I can't do it, well, sometimes I think it's connections, you know, if you know someone and then you can make it. But I gotta believe that if you're just good enough, you can do it. I sometimes just worry, though, that I'll just end up being as old as Lestonkoff and still be here. So I'm just gonna do just one tour on this ship. That's it. And then I'm gonna go to San Francisco and I'm gonna do vaudeville. I will. I'm gonna make it.
No, you're not going to make it.
Yeah.
Oh.
And that's not even because our ship will sink. Like, even if it doesn't.
We now have all of the people on the board, which means we go to the next deck. We start it. You know, the good stuff, the happy things. We pick up our first act.
Happy things.
A whole gale. Yes.
Oh,
Yes. A whole gale. Brandy, it is you. Please take the first whole gale card, read it to yourself first, and then decide who says it of our crew.
I am muted, first and foremost. Should I read it aloud for everybody too?
Yes, read it to yourself first so you can say, and then read it aloud when you tell us who says it.
Okay. Okay.
Because this is how it goes.
This is Portugal's. This is Portugal's card. There is nothing worse among a small crew than the outrageous turpitude of the moral coward and teller of lies. Someone has been telling lies about me, very egregious ones too, and I know who it is, and they will answer smartly for their careless words.
Are we missing Lila? Is she in here?
We are missing Lilas.
Let me see if I can find her. Where is she? While you...
We got her husband, who's like, yay, wife, but we don't.
Oh. Well,
we don't have her.
She's already overboard.
It's entirely possible.
I see her. Here she is. I'm going to put her out there so that our next person can grab her. So would you like to speak this truth? Which may be an internal monologue, a description of this moment on the board, the ship as the gale starts picking up, or a scene. It is your choice.
Right. So the scene is, it's nighttime. Because emotions, the moment the sun goes down, common sense goes with it, and emotions are much higher, and one is much more prone to irrational and quick decisions and accusations. And I, as Portugal, have been hearing the telltale signs of rumors and therefore lies. Because when I walk into some rooms, they become quiet. And when I walk past some people, I can feel their eyes on me as I continue. And it started to become, it hit today the turning point. Because at the beginning stage of rumors and lies, you walk into a room and it falls silent. And it stays silent. But when things have gotten to a point of no return, you walk into a room, it falls silent, and then it is full of whispers. And that has begun happening. And I've found the only person who doesn't fall silent or whisper or react at all is Lilas Towns.
Who will be Lilas and read out Lilas? And for this, before we get this scene to start.
Guess I'll read out Lilas. Let's see. It'll let me. I cannot flip the card,
Let
so
me see if I can get a... oh, I know why, because that is technically... I don't think that's... I think that technically is not a card.
Oh.
Let me get that for you. Let me... People...
The strong silent type as well.
Indeed. Here we go. Let me... I think I can just pull you out this way. Can I do that? I am... choose. So front, I think that'll let me do it. Let's see. I hope it will. People. Let me look at removed. Here we go. Here she is. Right there.
There she is. Lilas Towns, I have been called to this work to bring the teachings of Jesus to those who toil in this forbidding wilderness.
Oh.
And my husband David will build my church in Sand Point on Popoff Island, among the Aleuts and the Russians and the fishermen. I am passionate but presumptuous.
Apparently.
I have a great visionary. Lilas just sees big goals and trusts her husband to deal with the obstacles that stand in between her and her goals.
You're also a dirty little liar.
I would never slander unless someone was being blasphemous, in which case it's not slander, it's truth. So, yes, I feel like that's Lilas. She gets to stay in the cabins.
Well,
What
am
an
I glad
extra
I dressed as her?
See, I just decided to pick my best 1880s fisherman shirt, and I was like,
I think it
"Oh,
looks
this
pretty
is
good. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, if you would place the liar card by Portugal, so that we know that this is Portugal's concern.
How do I make it small? Is it huge to you guys also?
It is
so big.
If you flip it back over.
Oh.
Oh, nice.
No.
Nope. It's a whole gale.
So big.
I can. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just give that to Portugal.
Thank you. There you go, Portugal.
And I believe that makes it Lindy.
Oh, wonderful. Let's see what gale we get this time. Oh, here we go. Oh. Oh. Okay. This card is affection. I stole someone's woolen nippers, and there was a fight about it. You can't hold a line without nippers for long. I stole their nippers because I like them, and I long for connection, even if it is only hard blows. Bad weather brings out the worst in people. I think this is... See, was it Gordon who was... No, he was the drunk.
Mm-hmm. I think it was Lessenkoff.
Who was in love with Holmes?
Lessenkoff,
was it Lessenkoff?
Mm-hmm.
There we go, yes. This is Lessenkoff. Lessenkoff, who has a big old crush on Holmes. Lessenkoff stole Holmes' nippers.
I'm gonna ask a silly question.
Mm-hmm.
What are nippers?
I was also I was also about to ask, are they like gloves?
In my mind, they're like a knit cap.
They're like woolen yarn stuffed with more wool. They're I don't know where you wear them, but I know what they are. I've seen them. Let's see.
Okay. I was very worried for a
Fisherman's
second because I was like,
they look kind of
they're
like big wool scrunchies. I think they're maybe
I was also concerned, Drac. I was like,
oh, it's for your hands. So
Okay.
it's to keep your fingers free, but to not get rope burn.
oh, like those fingerless gloves.
Okay.
But they look like scrunchies.
But they okay.
There's
I
a-
could
Okay.
see it. Kind of just like
Okay.
warms you from around and helps with the rope burn and stuff. Okay.
Okay, that makes
Mhm.
sense. Okay.
All right.
I thought it was a very different thing then. Okay, cool.
Yeah, no.
Mhm.
So
I
there
mean,
you go.
I'm just gonna say what we were all thinking. I thought it was underwear.
Which would be
I thought they were knickers.
which is a thing to steal, but
It is a thing to steal.
they do.
I don't
look
know
like
if I would
sneakers.
have a fight about that though. If I found out somebody did that, I think I'd probably just pretend this didn't happen.
Yeah, and I'll be like, just didn't happen. I don't. If you want them,
You can keep them.
you can keep them.
Yeah, no, Lestenkoff stole Holmes' nippers, so it could be like they're holding hands. But
Oh, oh,
but it came
Still
to
weird.
blows.
I mean, he will
Adorable, I
catch
guess.
those
Yeah.
hands. It sounds
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
He did catch those hands. I think our dear Lestenkoff now has maybe like a bit of a black eye, maybe a crooked nose, but
But he touched it.
got yeah. There was moments of physical touch, and again, like wearing the nippers was like holding hands, so it was just slightly creepy, yes, but also like in a desperate for affection type of way. Yeah.
Lord.
and I think Harris is just like like patting getting the blood off your face. You know what I mean? I'm like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you can't steal somebody's nippers. What you thinking about? What's wrong with you? Come on now.
I just wanted. I'm giving him a German accent because it's a German name. I just wanted to just, I couldn't find my nippers. I just saw those and I was like, well, I'll use those for today. And
Gotta watch out for yourself. The thing about Holmes is that he just, he'll just punch you in the face. He's a very friendly fella, but, you get him mad.
and just a look on his face of like, yeah, man. Lessenkoff might be a slight masochist now. I don't know. It's just, he's there. He's in for it. I just, I guess I wasn't thinking clearly. I'm adopting your accent now. I'm all over the
Right.
place today.
It's because you got your bell rung. That's what happens. You just lose your
That's
accent.
probably what it is. I just it's a head wound. Perhaps I shouldn't nap this afternoon in case I'm
No.
concussed.
No, I'd say not.
Mm.
Strix. I see that head shake. I see it. I love it. I will move that.
I took 2 cards.
Oh. Did you take the affection?
I got a point of interest, I believe.
Oh, nice, very nice.
Oh God, what's happening?
I didn't mean to. It was an accident. Just
You can have that card. Okay.
okay.
A point of interest. Reading it silently to myself first.
So you can decide who has it. And while you're doing that, I'm gonna check something. 2, 3, 4, 6.
Awesome. So this is your captain speaking. I don't want to cause, so this is him saying this to himself in his thoughts. I don't want to cause a panic, but the Isabel is a bad ship, poorly cared for and overloaded, and we will be very lucky if she makes port. The deadlights are secured and everyone will do their part, and yet I fear the Isabel will slip away beneath us and soon.
Oh, so the captain and Portugal are on the same page. Interesting.
Why?
So
would
speaking
you
my
get on the-
truth,
Yeah.
I am tearing myself apart because I'm a horrible coward.
Oh.
I let my wife bully me into letting our daughter on board because she had dangled finishing school in New York to her, and there was no telling her no. I couldn't tell her that our livelihood would end any day, and that if I died and went down with the ship, they would get to claim the insurance and be better off. But now my daughter is here with me, and I've doomed us both.
Oh,
Ooh.
okay.
No. Okay.
I need to make the card small again.
Oh, I can do that. I can do it for you. Oh, you can, if that's you, you can also just you hit the corner, if you click it, you can see the little box show up.
Only GM can do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, well, I'll just do it for you.
You can rotate it, but you can't
That's
do
weird.
anything else to
Okay,
it.
it goes
Yeah.
with captain.
All right. I'll do that for you.
It's not sideways too.
There we go.
There we go.
Hello, Captain. Ooh, that's not good.
So the captain has been walking around with the heavy smell of alcohol on his breath because of this. And I'm going to invite someone to play Lilas to confront the captain over his sinful drunkenness while
Yes.
he's supposed to be the one responsible and in charge.
Yes.
I would like to play the captain if someone else would like to play Lilas.
I'll play Lilas again. Sure. I live in the deep south. I can do this.
So the captain has an unsteady gait as he makes his way to the wheel to check on the heading of the boat.
Everything all right, Captain?
Surely is, Miss Townis.
There's a terrible stench about, and it's not a fish. Smells like the
Madame?
devil's juice. Whiskey.
Well, there's not a lot of fresh water on this boat. I'm sure you'll be mighty excited when we land.
I assume you will be as well, Captain. You smell like a bar.
Now, Miss Townis, that is
You
an
are supposed to
unnecessary
be very
comment.
responsible. You are the captain. You are responsible for everyone's lives here on this vessel. You can't make
I've been
good
captaining
decisions.
this ship for 12 years. Leave me be, woman.
Fine. I'll go find my husband.
You do that. You do that.
I'm very worried about what this
Dirty
means.
sinner.
Oh, I'm very worried. Drac, that's you.
Yeah.
It's bad. This is bad, everybody. But I love it.
I have a feeling it won't get any better. But let's see.
I think you're right. Yeah, there we go. There's my storm.
Okay. You just never know with people. I made a lifelong friend before the Isabel and cleared the Farallons, and we remain inseparable despite our obvious differences. On a ship like this, it is good to have a friend. I try to be a good one. Speak your truth. Oh, I think it might be this is a tough one. I'm trying to think of if he has like an interesting difference, but could be friends despite that. Was it Harris that is smuggling?
No, I think that's Kenneth.
Contraband? Is it Kenneth?
Kenneth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think it might be.
Oh, Harris wants to be the actor.
Yeah, Harris wants to be the actor.
Oh, that's it. I think it might be Kenneth. Honestly, maybe Kenneth and Harris. I think. I imagine they both come from fairly different walks of life and are aiming to end up in almost polar opposite walks of life by the end of this trip. So I think they're very different in that regard, but somehow they seem to be the best of friends despite that. And I think it's the kind of deal where I don't think many people on the ship, not that they don't believe in Harris or anything like that, or they don't think he can become an actor, but they just don't really care. But at the very least, Kenneth like entertains it. Sometimes maybe when Harris wants to, he's just on their own musing over a play that they want to be a part of. Kenneth is like, hey, pretend I'm the audience. I'll listen and watch, kind of deal. Yeah. And definitely a kind of case of where like if you can hear Harris, Kenneth is probably not too far behind.
I feel like also the captain stole alcohol from someone. I'm just saying. That's just my feeling.
Yeah, yeah, that doesn't make sense.
Speak your truth.
Okay, yeah, I will play. So I think this is Harris saying this.
Yeah.
I think this would be Harris saying this, and the person he's referring to is Kenneth as a friend. I have no idea how to make this small, but
I can make it small for you.
Okay, yeah,
I can do that.
But yeah, I'll play Harris. If anyone wants to play Kenneth.
I can play Kenneth.
Okay. I think it's probably like one of the first. I think it was the first day, like out, and Harris was kind of lamenting that they have to be on this ship for however long this voyage is going to be, and trying to keep themselves calm by reciting a like very short play script that he'd written that he hopes to be on put on stage. It's kind of like sitting there like underneath his hammock probably, with this piece of like tattered dog-eared paper, just mumbling the lines to himself quietly. And I say unto you, I say unto you. Okay.
She got there.
Oh, just a thing I've written. It's nothing much. I'm still working on it.
You know, you seem awfully familiar.
I do. I don't think we've met, at least not before this. I'm Harris.
Hi. Kenneth. Is that a play?
No, it's not a complete one. But what I've written so far.
You can write?
Yes. I do it often to keep myself calm and put my musings on paper. It's always helpful.
Yeah. Your personal space is being completely invaded by this overexcitable puppy of a human being who's just like leaning over, chin almost on shoulder, not touching, just very close. Can't read. Still gonna look. What's it about? What happens? This close to your face. Excited.
Well, this one is just I actually written quite a few pages. I actually think I misplaced some of them and the others got wet, but this is the only surviving piece, I guess. But previously, before this scene, the main character, the character I hope to play eventually, is just coming back from a long voyage, actually, to come back to their family that they've left for a year or so, to see, I guess, to see. They think that it's going to be coming back to what it was like when they left, but obviously a year is quite a lot, and a lot has changed. So it's going to come and have to eventually confront that change. Things are a key part of life, trying to confront and understand and accept change. So I thought it'd be a good way to process that is through a play.
I know why you seem familiar. You've got one of those faces like famous actors do when you see them and you swear you've seen them before, even if you haven't. I see that.
You flatter me. Thank you. Do you want to listen to this section of the play?
I'd love to. That'd be great. That'd be cool. That'd be great. That'd be cool. That'd be cool. Absolutely shirking whatever duties Kenneth might have. Kenneth is going to just lay down underneath it and be like, okay, I am focused. I am your audience.
And yeah, Harris like stand up. This newfound confidence definitely doesn't have his sea legs yet still, so definitely like kind of teaching a little bit to try and stay stable, but gives the piece of the play that he has at hand. And maybe like there's definitely some improv when he reaches the end of that page to keep it going.
Yeah. Kenneth is doing all of the appropriate reactions, laughter, gasps, horror. It's all hitting the right spots of listening to the story. And then towards the end, we'll like occasionally point out little like ideas of like, what if they did this? Why would they do that? Why wouldn't they do this? And just like kind of putting out just audience feedback the whole time. Just fantastic. And then make sure to do a big bravo.
It was a
clap.
Deep bow. And had like a grin plastered on his face. Previously, he definitely had like a bit of a sick grin to his face, but also just general nerves. But after this little performance, he's feeling great. again.
Buddies.
I've got 2 cards that I had to organize the cards, so they're up there for the next. Oh, I'm the next person, so I'm going to take the that's me. I will take the top one. This is station keeping. Let's see. What does this have to say? Oh, okay. Okay. This is station keeping. And I think this is being said by... Oh, gosh. Ooh, okay. This is going to be said by our... by Portugal. Right? Portugal's the one who knows that they're this is the last voyage, right?
Yeah, Portugal and the captain both.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the captain who says this. So this is station keeping. We're keeping station in a howling gale because at this point I'm like the storm is really picking up. The winds in the Shumagans are from the southeast this time of year. Invariably with they come with rain and fog. The winds blow down off the islands with malice and can capsize a vessel in a moment. I must be vigilant and quick. Things could go from bad to worse in a moment. But I'm just not as fast as I used to be. But if I don't... I've been on this ship since the beginning, and if I don't pay attention, if I don't look, if I'm not watching at every moment, this ship will go down. I don't know if I can stop it. And I think you see Portugal among the rigging, trying to keep everything together and just checking. And then I think Portugal sees that some of the lines are frayed to the point where they might snap, but they were not frayed naturally. Portugal looks at some of these lines and sees that someone has cut them. Not enough to cut them all the way through, but enough that they will snap when a storm picks up very, very badly. And Portugal sees this sabotage and looks around on this empty deck and sees no one else there, but hears some laughing down below decks and wonders which among us might have done it. That is Portugal's truth. Randy, I believe you have the cod business.
I do have the cod business.
And while that's happening, I have to fix the decks because I realize there's one thing I have to do to fix it so they can do what I need to do. Just do that.
Sorry, there was math in there for a second where I was just like, is this going to be a math problem? It's like you get $30 for every 1,000 codfish. And I was just like, I don't know. My whole brain just went, please don't make me do math.
Please don't be a word problem.
I never saw word problems until I had to do an American test, and I was like, where is the math? The problem is finding the math.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Okay. You catch a fish, you cut out its tongue. That's as good as money. The master counts your tongues. You get $30 for every 1,000 codfish. Oh, that's not good. Dress the cod you have caught. Form a line. The header lops off the head, and the splitter opens the fish, and the salter, salts it, and throws it in the hold. Work together and keep your tongues. Okay, I think this is Lessenkopf in the middle. So I don't think he's speaking. I think Lessenkopf is the head, the splitter. So I think it goes. Let me just check what Brown's personality was again real quick. Okay. So I think this is Brown speaking. Brown catches the fish, cuts off the heads. Then it goes to Lessenkopf, or no, I guess Lessenkopf is the cook, right? So he would be salting it. So it's Brown, let's say Brown, Holmes, less than cough. Brown cuts off the head. Holmes has to split it open. And Lesnikov salts it. We all work together. And I think in doing really like menial sort of tasks, you kind of fall into this work silence. But you are very aware of each other and of everything around you. And I think when you do menial tasks like that on a regular basis for a long time, other people start to not realize that you're there, and you might hear things. But you have to, in order to continue being able to hear things, you have to hold your tongue. So I think that is less than cough.
Browns?
Middle. Sorry, yes, Browns. Got all these names.
I know.
Yes, and then if you can make a small trooper.
I will absolutely make it small. But what do they hear?
Do they hear? I think they hear.
This is Browns?
Lilas spreading the suspicion because Lilas saw. There's a thing in the middle. Lilas saw Portugal looking at the frayed ropes.
Oh.
And had said that, is the nature of sinners to want to pull good people down with them, figuratively or literally.
Ooh, okay. Lindy.
Me. Let's see what we got here. Oh no, ghosts. Spooky. Ooh, okay. I have heard that the Isabel was unmasted in a tempest back in 1885, and her crew washed away, and the ghost ship was towed to port and repaired. I feel in my bones that she intends to wash us away too. There is death about her. I think this is our dear Merkaleaf. I don't know how dear he is, but he's been to a lot of different ports, been on a lot of different ships, so I feel like he definitely would have heard some rumors about a ghost ship getting pulled into one of the ports. And maybe he didn't believe it when he first got on ship. But now things just keep happening because Merkaleaf keeps to himself a lot. He's the only one on the boat deck pretty often. He's been seeing, people might say he's crazy, but he's been seeing some ghosts at night, especially walking around the deck of the ship, sometimes in the water, just like over the railings of the ship. It's freaking him out a little.
Overboard.
Okay.
Yeah. He doesn't know. He doesn't want to say anything because they don't think he's crazy.
Huh. Interesting. Okay. I've got some concerns. I have some concerns. Strix.
One of these times I'm going to draw a card and it's going to work easily.
Yeah. If you just drag it out from the deck, it doesn't go to your inventory.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ugh, drag.
There
we go. Okay.
Uh-oh.
Worst days.
That
Love
seems
it
bad.
already.
That seems bad. All right.
Okay, so this is being said by Anne, the daughter of the captain. So the whole ship is in chaos. Every able-bodied person is doing something as the wind and the rain lashes us. My dress is soaked through, and someone screamed at me to help us keep the Isabel from taking on water. So we were somewhere off the Archerden Point on Unga Island in this miserable gale, and the Isabel is taking on so much water. I was tasked with wrapping our bow in a sail to stem the flow, and that worked until we stopped making headway. Now the pumps cannot keep pace, and this ship is doomed. This is a scene. Anne is in it. And I want at least 2 other people to pick characters that are going to come when she starts screaming for help.
Okay.
So who wants to take whom?
That's a good question.
I would take I can't remember which character it was, but I said there was one that had a liking to Anne.
Brown, who's the second
Brown,
mate, I
that's
think,
it.
yes?
Yes, that's it. I'll play Brown because Brown would definitely come a running.
Okay, and who else?
I could play Kenneth again. He's just milling about, wandering around kind of aimlessly because he's never been on a ship before.
He's also a smuggler.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so Anne is just screaming, help, help. We're taking a wander. I can't stop it. Somebody help me.
Miss Nicholson, and Brown comes rushing, also drenched in water, and his help immediately jumps to help. What's Anne doing right now? Trying to pull on.
Put the sail around the stem of the bow.
Okay, yeah. So he immediately comes with rope as well to help.
Take the sail. Help me.
Yes, of course. And he also calls out for help because even he can't do this on his own. We another man here.
Waves are just smacking against the boat, like knocking them silly. Cold sprays making their fingers numb as they try to fumble with the sail. For God's sake, somebody help!
Kenneth is going to stumble out, soaked to the bone, has been trying to get the sea legs to work and to stumble out of where he was resting. Just taking some him time the whole time. And stumbles out terrified and confused, but luckily there's so much confusion and you can barely see a hand in front of your face, but runs towards the crowd and sees you two and goes just kind of hopes like maybe somebody will not notice. They haven't seen me before.
Get over here. I need help.
Oh, okay. Yes. Yes. Okay. And Kenneth is gonna grab something at random. It might not be attached to something at first. It's just kind of this. What do you wait? What am I supposed to?
You idiot! Grab the sail.
Oh, right. Oh, chat. Yep. Kenneth grabs onto the sail just with both hands, and it just is trying to use his body weight to kind of pull it to the same direction as everybody else is. Yeah, it's just hanging on for dear life.
And I need you. I appreciate the help, but can you go below deck? There's going to be getting more and more dangerous up here, and we cannot.
Seriously, fuck off. We're all about to die. And then a rogue wave smashes against the hull of the ship, and Anne is tossed off into the storm.
Brown rushes to the as fast as he can in this storm, rushes over to the edge to see to just look over, see if there's any signs of Anne.
Anne is screaming somewhere, you can hear her, but in the surf and the fog and the wind, you can't see her.
Can we? It's still holding on, like is leaning, towards Brown and like check. Just I don't know, communicate, but now is the only person holding the sail down, definitely struggling, would be sweating, but it's too cold, and is just like has anchored like a leg around a piece of wood of the ship, just kind of like is himself like the thing holding it together now, very stretched out. Is she do you think we
Brown looks at Kenneth and then just yells, man overboard, and probably makes eye contact with Captain Nicholson as he says it one more time.
Someone should probably bring Captain Nicholson in.
I think we should stop there and find out what happens with the next card. I think we leave it at that moment of like, oh no. Drac, it's you.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm gonna just note we only have 2 cards left in this act.
Yeah.
I genuinely thought you were gonna say "fuck off" and a wave would come and toss Kenneth overboard, like some sort of god of the sea, just like almightily fuck off.
Don't worry, I would have asked your permission first.
Yeah.
Oh. And let us know when this is and who's saying it.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, we're
We
gonna
only
do a
have 2 cards
flashback.
left, right?
We have this one and one more before we get into. We have to abandon the ship.
Okay.
Thanks. That's what's happening next, my friends.
I think this is a flashback, and I think it's like literally moments before the storm really hit. So it's never down.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Keg of beef.
I think this. Okay, so I'll read it out first. Scotch dumplings. Tonight we dined on what are called Scotch dumplings, so which are cod stomachs filled with cod livers and cornmeal. Cod. We left San Francisco with 5 kegs of beer on board, but somehow that was gnawed through before we reached the Shumagans. Lord, I'm sick of cod. Speak your truth. I think this is Lilas. And I think they probably consider this as a moment of weakness because they feel like they used the Lord's name in vain. With the Lord as sick of cod. But I think that's even better. I think they this is moments before the storm hit, and they just caught themselves using the Lord's name in vain as they're eating more cod. I don't think this would necessarily be a scene, but I think almost the moment they kind of like set this Scotch dumplings down, probably fed up with them because it just can't eat anymore. She's probably mumbles to herself, and I think her husband overhears and says, "Lord, I'm sick of cod," and stands up. And almost the moment she stands up, the ship starts to rock a bit more intensely than it was meant to, that it was previously. And then the scenes that we just played out previously begins to unfold.
Oh, I hope she thinks her blasphemy is what killed Anne.
Yeah.
Yes, that would be amazing.
Yes, I think that's what she thinks. For sure. But yeah, I'll put that's definitely Lilas.
We have one less card in this act. And this is Better Days. Let me see. Oh. Okay. This is going to be... Ooh. Okay. I think this is going to be between Anne. This is a conversation. Anne's not saying this, but the person who's saying this is saying it to Anne. And I think the person who's saying this is Merculeaf, the one who's like seeing ghosts, right? I think Merculeaf is reminiscing about better days with Anne on the boat deck, right? Sort of like in a earlier that day, right? Like just doing a little bit of work early that day. And I think so Merculeaf is sort of sitting there, maybe whittling, in that sort of moment of calm, because things seems like it might be all right. And Anne is there maybe learning about something and they're having a conversation. They're having a moment. And Merculeaf says, "Oh, I sailed with the old Captain Turner aboard the Porpoise. When fisheries were a novelty, like 20 years ago. Oh, we took 36,000 fish in 2 weeks. It's true. Of course, now I'm among a less grand class of people, weak and timid people who go pale at a little weather. And not you, of course, but I mean, some of these people. And I don't mean to disrespect your father, but this ship is sound, though, and I'm not going to wet myself over some rough seas. This little storm that's coming up is not going to be anything at all. Don't you think? Who's Anne?"
I'll do it since I just murdered her.
Please do. Please do.
Well, Papa says that we have to spend extra time fishing each month because the fish have been, overfished by previous generations, forcing us into fisheries work. So sad, don't you think?
Well, but fisheries are a grand time, and as a matter of fact, storms are exciting. Especially when you're up here, I'll tell you what. Here's my tip for you, because you've not been sailing before. When a storm comes up, you should hang out here on the boat deck where you can see everything. From here, you'll be close to the sails, but you've never seen anything like a storm at night on the sea when there's no land about you at all. That is where you should be. People might try to tell you to go be on the bottom or something, but don't. Be out here up front where it's alive. If you're alive, you can't be a ghost.
Papa says night is the most dangerous time to be on deck.
Yeah, your father's a lily-livered coward. He's craven. Sorry.
Sir.
With due respect. Your father's an ass.
Sir.
Sorry, due respect. Due respect.
If you don't like this boat, then you should think about signing on with another crew when you're done here.
Oh, now who's the captain? Who's the captain here? I'll tell you what, I'll outlive everybody in this place. Isabel and me. It's a cheap boat. You see the paint peeling? The Porpoise, that was a ship. Top of the line, it was new. Went down, though.
May your ghost give you no rest. And she turns and stomps away.
Oh. And I suppose that is our last card, which means we have to go to this one. Just one card right here. It's called Abandoned Ship. Brandy, would you like it?
I keep leading us into everything.
It's not you. It's not you. It's the game.
Oh, oops. Trying to. Lord Almighty, please.
I think.
Did I?
I got it. Where'd it go? Deal? Oh, no. That's canceled. Let me see. Pull card out. Oh, I think it must be out there. Is it out there? No.
I don't see it.
It's in your inventory.
Oh, it's in your inventory.
It's in my. Oh.
Yeah. Click on your name, get your card, pull it out into the thing, and take us picking up after that overboard into this moment.
All right. Oops. Hello. Nope.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Control, please.
Yes.
All right. Abandoned ship.
She's just gone overboard. There's chaos.
Choose someone to lash themselves to the wheel to allow safe escape for the rest. Send them to the deep. Remove the 4 Isabel ship cards and spread out the 4 Dory cards. Divide the remaining survivors unevenly among the 4 Dories as they hastily abandon ship. Ooh, who am I going to kill?
Yeah, my friend.
Okay. Lovely. I'm going to kill Lilas. I think what happens is everyone is brought up because we have to abandon ship. So everyone is brought up.
And overboard.
And overboard. And I think Portugal, feeling a little spiteful and a little also, quite frazzled, sarcastically to Lilas says something about how sacrifice makes you closer to God because martyrs. Just some quick-witted line here and there. It's just a throwaway thing. Lilas takes it extremely seriously. And when people are being shoved to the boats and the captain is probably busy and going over and trying to help and just preoccupied, they get him off the ship. Because I think that would be the only obstacle. Everybody else is probably happy to leave. I think she makes people think she's on the boat. Maybe she throws something of hers, maybe the cloak she was wearing or something, on somebody, maybe somebody who didn't realize, which is like Kenneth. Maybe Kenneth was just thrown away, tossed it on him. He was like, okay, I have this. And went onto the Dories.
Yeah.
And when everybody was in there, they were doing the head count. And you can't go back to the ship anymore because it's past the point of no return. And you can look up, and in a crack of lightning, you see Lilas clinging to the. It's not called a steering. What did it? Wait.
To the wheel.
The ship's wheel. Yes, I was so close. To the ship's wheel, as finally lightning strikes the ship, which is just cracking and falling apart, and then you don't see Lilas anymore.
My. Well, now, let me clear these 4 locations as our ship is gone. And we have 4 leaky dories. And Lilas is in the deep with her Scotch dumplings. And Anne Nicholson is overboard. And so, we have to decide where these people are going to be.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was it Harris and Kenneth? They should not be separated. Those 2 buddies should make it into a dory together.
Okay.
That makes
And
sense.
definitely Kistronoff and Holmes.
Absolutely.
I think Captain Nicholson, very taboo for a captain. I think Nicholson probably going to a dory almost immediately, not even really waiting for many people to get on, and try to row to where they last saw Anne.
Oh.
So I think like if we do like divide everything unequally, I think like the one that Nicholson's in probably has the least amount of people. Because how suddenly and quickly he had to leave.
I think Gordon, our drunkard, is with the captain.
Okay.
I think it's no. We actually need to have I like it. I like that right there. I think that I don't want Gordon. I want Merklief, who thinks the captain is incompetent and who's seen ghosts. I want Merklief there with the captain in that dory together.
I think for the drama, David is in a boat with Portugal, who ironically accidentally made his wife die.
Absolutely. That's amazing. I love it. That's really good. Which means we've got Gordon, who's our drunkard, and we have got Brown.
I don't want to put the irresponsible drunkard in with the 2 young guys that are best buds.
I know.
Yeah, do it.
Well, we could put the drunkard in with Portugal and David as an instigator.
I think Brown could also be an instigator, though, with those 2, because he was very attached to Anne.
Oh, he was. Oh, yeah. Let's put Brown in there with Portugal. No, we want him with Portugal or with the captain? Oh.
Maybe captain because attached to Anne.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
And then Gordon, drunkard, with these. Oh God, that puts 2 boys. It's totally alone. So I have no idea what they're doing.
I love
Beautiful.
it.
I love it.
They're gonna die.
I love it. I'm into it. Which means
our flag means death.
Our flag means death. We have our second moment in boats, which I believe is Lindy.
All right, let's see how these boats treat us.
All right.
Oh, okay, there's a survivor. It's not Anne. And here is a rat, spiky, with black grease and evil to look upon, that somehow survived the calamity and has made its way into my dory. I think we shall be friends. I do not need any more enemies.
Oh.
Speak your truth.
Okay.
I think, because the captain's looking for Anne, I think instead of Anne, they find this rat.
Oh, man.
I think they're talking about each other in the dories. I don't think it's like we add a character.
Well, it's
it's a rat.
Okay.
Like
an actual rat.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, it literally says spiky like grease all over it.
Yeah.
To look on.
Yeah. So that's your friend. Okay. All right.
Yes, I think it's an actual rat that's just floating along. Like they see movement on a piece of driftwood and they're like, Anne, and they pull it up, and it's not Anne, it's an actual like little bilge rat. Ate through some of that beef.
They are really big.
It sounds like a.
Yes, they are. I've seen rats the size of cats.
Who's the
Not
one?
great.
Who's the one who says that this is going to be their friend, though?
Oh, I think it's Merculeaf.
Oh.
He's been seeing ghosts.
Mm.
The captain's like, no, we need to keep looking. And Merculeaf's like, you're with me, little buddy, guy.
I think Brown sits there and looks disturbed. I think Brown is watching all of this.
Yeah.
And is just like, and doesn't quite know what to say. Like, Brown's second mate, so probably should have been one of the other Dories to sort of spread out the leadership.
Probably. But they were looking for Anne.
Right, but hit this one is looking for Anne and is seeing Mercliffe with this giant bilge rat and the captain sort of falling apart, and looks out at the other Dories and there's just, I think, in Brown's mind,
questioning if you got on the wrong Dory. Yeah. And Merculeaf's just kind of losing his mind a little bit. Because first it was the ghost, then the ship sank. And now, he's like, oh, this is my new friend. It's an actual literal rat.
It's not good.
No.
Strix.
In the boats.
In the boats. Okay.
Still together.
Okay. Oh.
Okay, so this is Harris saying this in Dory 1. Through the fog, an apparition appears, and I quickly realize it's another boat from the Isabel. The feeling of seeing another Dory is indescribable. We are a ragged little flotilla. We cannot raft together, but we can spend a few moments and perhaps adjust our loads. We are still together. It gives me hope. Speak your truth, move survivors between two boats.
Ooh.
Okay, so this is going to be Dory 4 with David, Portugal, and Gordon. David and Portugal are fed up with Gordon being an awful drunk, so they kick him off into their boat with an excuse that's very flimsy.
Oh.
And Harris's truth is this is the most alive that he has ever felt.
Wow.
And he is almost gleeful. He has that apocalyptic gleam in his eye of like, I am living, I am doing something. And he kind of puffs up his chest and he begins to look for other survivors because he's decided that he is the protagonist. He is the hero of this play, and he will save everybody and go down in history and be in all the newspapers and be famous. He's found his ticket to fame. It's not plays, it's being an actual hero.
Ooh.
Oh my.
Kind of rooting for Harris right now. I don't know why, but kind of rooting for him.
Okay, Drac, it's you.
Oh.
It's you.
Okay.
I gotta say, I'm gonna just note that Kenneth was a smuggler, and Gordon knows where all the secret parts on that boat were, and they're in the same boat together, the same Dory. I just noted. That's just noting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just noting it.
Okay.
Suddenly, Metcalfe feels a little bit like he should shit
tattoo.
himself.
The final tattoo.
Okay.
Oh.
It took me a minute.
I was like, tattoo? Did he get like a tattoo on the sea?
Tattoo is a military term for when you're doing taps. It's like a parade. Like the final tattoo is like your final parade. Like the grand tattoo, you have the whole all of the people coming in, and like you've got all of the pomp and circumstance. Somebody's not doing well.
Yeah. Oh, that's a tough one. Okay. I think it's David. David Harris. And I think it's like a mixture of just like everything that's happened. He's probably like, I think during the storm when it hit the Isabel, there was definitely like some like things were like thrown about. Like
Yeah.
the wind probably like knocked the sail at some point, and you had the bar that holds the bottom part of the sail probably cracked him around the head at some point.
Oh.
Just a really bad injury, but adrenaline kind of like kept him going in that moment. But I think he's starting to feel it, like now he's dripping in and out of consciousness, having struggle breathing, and I think that plus the knowledge that his wife has just died, he's kind of like not just physically unable to keep going, but emotionally just has given up as well. Because he was like Brandy said, a wife guy. He lived for his wife, and without his wife, he doesn't feel like he has any reason to live. So yeah, I think that's definitely David, and I think he's just kind of he definitely kind of like I said, drifting in and out of consciousness, and whenever he is conscious, he's just mumbling under his breath, basically almost like he's still talking to Lilas. And he'd speak and then wait as if he's listening to a reply and then speak again. And Portugal is probably definitely hearing all of this as David kind of like slumps further and further down in his story.
When this happens, we must take the characters and put them in the deep. David is done.
Yes.
Let me see what I've got in our boats. The stars guard me. Let's see. Oh. Okay. This is being said. Ooh. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is being said by Holmes.
Oh.
Who's in this boat with the chef, our cook, Leshnikov. And Holmes says, in the half-light of the Alaskan dog watch, all the stars in God's firmament are arrayed before me for glorious inspection. Remember, he's the one who always said he was simple, right? Rigel's like a burning chip of topaz. Antari's a fiery red. I'm in great peril, but... And Holmes looks over at Leshnikov, who stole his nippers. But I'm also in great company. The stars will watch over me, and I will survive. I feel it in my bones. Who would be Leshnikov in this moment?
I could be Letnikov.
And I think that Holmes actually says this all out loud, right?
Mm-hmm.
Says all of this about, with a kind of a clarity that I don't think Lesnikov ever heard from Holmes, who was always a little bit like a little confused and a little bit mumbling about, sort of big burly, but, just a bit quiet and not particularly quote unquote smart. And then there's this moment where Holmes looks at the sky and points out all of the constellations and says this sort of moment of brilliance and says, I will survive.
And they're sitting in these dories, which typically you're facing each other in them. And I think Lesnikov right now is doing the rowing because you want to take turns because you just wear yourself out if you don't. It just pauses, makes sure the oar's secured, puts a hand on Holmes's knee. Say, we're going to get out of here. You're right. Together we can make it.
And I look at you rowing, and I reach in to my coat, and I pull out the nippers. And I say, you're rowing. You should probably wear these. And I hand the nippers to you so that while you row, it will not callous your hands.
And due to the night sky being dark, Holmes cannot see a little bit of flush come to Lesnikov's cheeks.
And Holmes just says, you never told me your first name.
don't think you've told me yours.
I haven't. Neville.
Neville? It's nice to meet you. Gregor.
Gregor. Wellington Williamson. And that is that one. I pass it to Brandy.
I feel so gay right now. It's so nice. Ooh. Oh, great. I love being humbled by Roll20. Ooh. What a vibe.
Discomfort.
The smallest things cause the blood to boil with rage. A body shifts and there is a grumbling, and then an annoyed little kick. And then, despite my exhaustion and starvation, I am fully prepared to tear someone's throat out for their outrageous insolence. There's a moment's hesitation, and then I collapse. We will fight again. Sorry, I was laughing because I literally was in a recording studio for about for about 10 hours yesterday, and I forgot to eat in between, and I feel this. I get it. I can relate. Let's see. Who are we going to make Hulk out? You know what? When you're drunk, there's two things that happen.
Yep.
And one is that like you lose some sensitivity.
Yep.
And you gain a lot of sensitivity. And and this is a very overstimulating situation. This is a lot. And you are exhausted. And also what happens a lot is that you get drunk, you get ready to fight, and then you pass out. So this is Gordon. And here's the thing. I think Harris and Kenneth are, well, I think Kenneth is just really very supportive of Harris' hero arc.
Yeah.
Because Kenneth thinks that Harris is just about the coolest thing since... Have you had sliced bread at this time? Yes. I mean, technically Romans had it, but like, have they had it?
Yes. You can slice it yourself.
Yeah.
It's the 1880s. There's sliced bread. Yeah.
Sick. I literally only did the classics. Everything else, I don't know. But yeah. So yeah, Kenneth thinks Harris is just about the coolest thing since sliced bread.
Oh man.
And I think the mutual just accolades and affection and appreciation and like, we got this, we're gonna be fine, blah blah blah. It's a lot to listen to two very young people be very energetic in a situation like this. And I think Gordon has simply had enough. I don't even know if Gordon says anything really. I think Gordon just sits there getting huffier as time passes quietly. And then goes, it's not even a word. It's like, it comes out a slurred out of nowhere and like stands up very abruptly in the boat, which is terrifying to everyone and instantly sobering, except to him. And just glares at them and has to sit back down because his blood pressure, when he stood up, it was too fast. And all he says is, "We will fight again." I have to lay down. I have to lay down. And just passes out.
Lindy.
What we got here?
A waking dream. Oh, someone's gonna die.
Oh.
Someone's gonna die.
A waking dream.
Ooh, okay.
Oh.
A waking dream. Soaked, salt-encrusted, and freezing, I am filled with anger. Bobbing helplessly around the North Pacific is bad enough, but I must share my torment with the worst person in the world, an intolerable jackass. I daydream about beating their foolish head and then wake from my dreaming with a bloody belaying pin in my hand. Speak your truth and send someone to the deep.
Oh.
You know, I think Portugal's pretty safe for now, being the only person in his boat.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh,
Oh.
I think
Oh man.
we just had some drunky drunk.
They're all
but
bad choices.
You
Yeah, I
know
love
who
it.
else was drunk?
Yeah.
The captain.
The captain.
The captain was a little drunk.
You
Dumb
know
off
who
somebody.
was right next to his daughter when she got swept off of the ship?
Murklev? Yeah, I do remember that.
Brown. It was
No, it's
Brown.
Brown.
It was Brown.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, Murklev's the one who gave the idea. But yeah.
Where's Brown's
Mhm.
car? Oh, he's down there.
Yep.
He's in the boat with the captain and
Oh, okay.
Merculeaf.
Oh
He's
no.
just down there. Yep.
Merculeaf. So the captain
Oh no.
thinks he's dreaming. He's having a nightmare of his daughter getting swept overboard again and again and again. But as he dreams this, the dream shifts. First, it's just the wave hitting. And then it's the wave hitting with her helping secure the sail with Brown. And it just keeps repeating. But each time, Brown gets more and more involved until in that last dream, there isn't even a wave. Brown just shoves her overboard beneath the ship. And he just gets so angry in this dream that Brown killed his daughter. And he lets out that rage in his dream. But then he realizes it wasn't just a dream. He was very drunk. And he looks at this bloody belaying pin. And he looks around the boat. And he looks at Merculeaf, who is just kind of pressed into the other section of the boat and rowing, looking at the captain, not saying a word because he doesn't want to incur his wrath. And Brown is nowhere to be seen, but there's a lot of blood in the ship.
We will send Brown
To the deep.
Strix, it's you.
Yes, I love this kind of drama.
Yes.
That
Yes.
I was born for.
Yes. Oh.
Okay, too soft a word.
Oh my goodness. Well, you know,
Well, we know what this is gonna happen now.
ready for it.
So this is obviously Merculeaf's card.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, Merculeaf.
So Merculeaf has just seen
Witnessed
his
some
captain
shit.
murder
Yeah.
his first officer and knows that a captain is ultimately responsible for the safety of all crew and people. So he thinks to himself as he rows and stares at this awful person, I share this little boat with the principal architect of my ruin, the person whose gross negligence and criminal greed with that whole stuff with cod, right, and the bending timbers have brought us to this crux. The Isabel was rotten, and I must rub oilskin in cramped quarters with the very source of the rot. Hate is too soft a word. My truth is that I will kill him.
Oh. Oh.
Just not right now.
Absolutely.
The right moment. Yeah.
Absolutely.
It's too dangerous. Yeah.
Absolutely. Drac.
Oh my god. Okay.
So excited.
The death roll.
Okay.
This is gonna be great. This is gonna be
Ready.
great.
Ooh.
Okay. The vision is seared into my memory. The Isabel, heavy and low, in a death roll. She was broaching to windward on her beam's end, and then the sails met the water, then rose again, heavy. Counter rolled, and that was it for the Isabel. It was a magnificent, terrible thing to see. Oh, who was the last?
That's interesting.
Mhm.
What's that one?
Yeah, like who's got that attitude, right?
Yeah.
I know who I'd pick.
He's the one that was seeing ghosts.
Merculeaf.
That was Merculeaf.
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 I don't think
He
Merculeaf would have.
Yeah, he was seeing ghosts, and then the captain and Portugal both knew that the ship wasn't going to make it.
Yes.
Yeah.
They both did. One
I
person.
think it'll be Portugal.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Mhm.
I think the captain
Yeah.
kind of had like resigned, but Portugal's seemed more calculated, kind of like a I would like to see this happen, whereas the captain had just like given up and knew there was nothing they could do. So yeah, I think it was Portugal who saw this. It's probably like one of the last people to get on a dory. Because I imagine, I imagine he has this very weird lust for thrill and near death.
Mm.
And are they the ones that was also? I don't think it's Portugal. Were they on the porpoise?
That
no.
was Merculeaf.
Yeah, that was Mercury.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think Portugal has a weird like.
Portugal knew that they were going to die.
lining.
Portugal's like, yeah, I'm going to die. I know it.
I
This
think
ship's
Portugal
not
has a
coming
weird
back.
love and lust for just near-death experiences. Yes, I'm gonna give that to Portugal, and he's alone on the ship, so I think he's probably like, as he's rowing.
What else does you have to think about? Yeah.
Yeah, as he's rowing, he's kind of like imagining and replaying it in his head over and over again, the last moments of the Isabel, with a grin on his face the entire time.
Which means, if you all don't mind, I will give us the card that ends this act, Landfall.
Ooh.
Let us see. Landfall. At shore at last. The survivors make landfall and are perfectly safe. Remove the 4 dory cards and replace them with the 2 shore cards. Place the survivors on the beach or in the Barbara, as they might prefer. So we have found ourselves probably in some sort of island, but abandoned. There's no one else. We're sort of at this beach that's in the middle of nowhere by ourselves, with no, like, this is not a rescue. Like, you're not dead, but we are stuck right on this beach. And I think the question becomes, who's hanging out on the beach? Who's hanging out in the Barbara, this little hut that I think we've built? And I imagine it was a lot of Holmes building it, right? I think Holmes and probably Lessenkoff were sort of...
Holmes and Lessenkoff. Yeah, I think they're definitely in the Barbara.
But no, I think they're on the beach. I think they built the Barbara, right? I think they built it, but I think they're probably not in... I think they're on the beach is what I think. I think they were like part of like the people that helped build it.
Are they next to each other, or are these 2 separate locations?
These are next to each other. But who's inside the house that the hut that they built, and who's out on the beach? And I imagine that Holmes and Lessenkoff helped build it, but they're hanging out on the beach because maybe other people might need to be inside more.
I know for sure the captain's probably on the beach. I think he's probably like, I think his mind isn't where he used to be. I think he's kind of like
maybe looking to see if his daughter washed up ashore.
Yeah, I think like probably sat right at probably still sat.
Keeps pacing the shoreline, maybe.
Yeah, probably pacing the shoreline, just back and forth. Like the water's probably up to his waist. He's just dredging through, hoping to see his daughter at some point. Yeah,
I like it.
Probably the 2 layabout losers are in the Barbara.
I totally think that's true. I 100% agree with that. I think that both Harris and Kenneth are in the Barbara, 100%.
Yep.
Gordon, I think Gordon's also in the Barbara. Even though Gordon wanted to murder them and was like super angry and drunk, I think that weirdly Gordon is also in the Barbara with them. And we don't know why. Why, after wanting to not be around them so much, Gordon is still lurking in this space without a lot of witnesses.
I think Mercleaf is shadowing the captain's footsteps, waiting for a good opportunity to murder him.
Yes.
And he's also at the beach.
Yeah.
And Portugal might be inside.
And yeah, Portugal's probably avoiding the captain at just avoiding. Just like, no.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe has slight concerns about Gordon.
Maybe, yes. Which means in that case, we have the last deck, which is Hell.
Fun.
Little Jean-Paul Sartre for us. Hell is other people.
It is indeed. Brandy, you get to pick the first card in Hell. Because it turns out this island is not fun. It is hell. It's not like it's not the Joy Island.
I don't know how to pronounce this word. I've said it wrong every single time I've ever said it. Is it harbinger?
Yes.
Yes.
I am the harbinger of chaos. You're welcome.
I'm
I'm
ready.
so sorry to these fictional people for ruining their lives consistently.
I feel like you're not. I feel like I'm not either. I feel like someone.
No.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you're a trooper. You never.
I'm
You
never.
could never.
No.
It's never you.
What?
I did it.
I absolutely wasn't traumatized by working with you before. And every time somebody said something that could be bad, you were like, interesting. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Don't worry about it. I've written it down. Don't worry about it. I was just like, I'm going to develop a twitch.
When the GM writes it down, it's never good. But that title doesn't look good either.
No, I did it. It was me. I have eaten all our food, every last shred and morsel. It was very delicious. Everyone is in such a stupor that no blame can be assigned, and I am glad of that. I will rot in hell for this, and yet my belly is full for the moment.
Oh.
Gordon.
Mm.
Well, it's because, like, who pays
Yeah.
attention to
Yeah.
someone that
Yeah.
you've written off?
Yeah.
They're just like, whatever, he's drunk. He's probably going to stay passed out. Nobody's
Yeah.
looking. Those two are in their own little world.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe he had even nodded off.
Mhm.
But in a moment when they weren't looking,
Oh.
Gordon woke up drunk, selfish, and he did it. It was him.
Because of course they store all the food in the Barbara.
Inside, yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Oh.
So
no.
maybe Portugal was sitting with his thoughts, wrestling with, I don't know, any potential guilt he has over Lilas. And Gordon was like, well, nobody's paying attention to me, and I am hungry.
Oh, Gordon. Gordon. Oh my goodness. I hope no one finds out.
That dude's gonna get gacked.
I know. I'm just like, oh man. Lindy.
All right. Let's see what happens in hell today.
Mhm.
Oh, mercy.
Okay.
Sounds maybe nice.
Oh. Well.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't think it actually is very nice because it's this game. When you're like, oh, that seems like nice. Wait,
Well,
oh,
that seems like a nice.
send someone to the deep. No,
Oh.
not so nice.
But I think I know who this is. I think this is
Oh.
our dear Merculeaf.
Yeah.
Because he's been shadowing the captain. But let me read this card out loud so everyone knows what it is. Mercy. It is with the last of my strength that I make the effort to cut a throat with a cod knife, which he was the gutter.
He was.
It is not an act of malice, but one of love. Speak your truth and send someone to the deep, or fail in your errand of mercy and go to the deep yourself.
Ooh.
I think he is successful because the captain is just so out of it. And he saw the captain murder someone already. And he waits until the captain to just drop from sheer exhaustion. And then, as captain again was walking the tide line and probably just dropped feet in the water, and while the two lovebirds up there are looking at the stars, Merculeaf just very quietly,
Can I say something as the
calmly,
captain?
yes.
Before you do it, can I say something as the
Oh,
captain?
sure. Yeah, please.
Because Merculeaf was the one who said that they noticed that there was frays on the ropes, that somebody had cut the ropes. And as we learned from Styx,
I thought that was Portugal.
Portugal. Oh,
Mhm.
yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But we know from what Styx said, the captain the captain has his back towards Merculeaf.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the footsteps. It just says, I did it, you know. I cut the lines. It was supposed to be for the insurance. I cut them before I knew that Anne would be there. Once they're cut, they can't be uncut. I just... Is that her? Is that Anne? Anne?
Aye, Captain. It's
Oh.
Anne. And then into the ocean so that his wife can still get that insurance money.
Oh!
Oh!
Oh, Strix. It's you. I'm gonna go put some people in the deep, by the way.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go do
that's
that.
fun.
Yeah.
Put some-
Bye, Captain.
Let me just Mercy's back on top of the deck, I see. Is that correct?
Looks like
Yeah.
it might be a different number. What
Oh,
is,
great. Another Mercy.
no, it's the same
Okay.
Mercy, so we gotta ditch that one.
No, it's the same Mercy.
So
So,
ditch it.
yeah,
Okay.
it's a yeah.
So I'll let you keep
Accidental
that.
copy.
I'll
Yeah.
draw a new one.
Yeah, I'll get rid of that one.
An icy embrace. That sounds promising.
boy.
Oh, someone's to the deep. Remember,
It's
there are
okay.
two ways to get out of
Jesus.
this. Either you find the salvation card, or everyone's dead, whichever one happens first.
Oh,
I am awoken by my own desperate shivering. It is extremely cold because my partner is awful. Contorted sleep has died in the night. They have died in my arms as we huddled for warmth. Send someone to the deep
no.
and speak your truth.
No. Who is it?
we all felt it.
We have two groups of
We have
inseparable
two
people.
groups of
We have
inseparable.
two inseparables.
Oh.
Oh yeah. By the way,
Listing cough is dead.
yeah, because he's old, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Holmes
So
is
Holmes
the one
holds
with the
listing cough.
medical affliction, which is
Um,
tragic.
and realizes that maybe, he liked him back a lot more than he thought.
oh.
Oh,
But it's too late now.
Strix, I see it in my mind, right? Like I see it. That moment where like Holmes wakes up, right? And it's like, Gregor, and like Gregor doesn't move. And then like the full weight of the realization happens. And I can imagine, because at this point in time, almost everyone's sleeping in the Barbara.
Yep.
Mhm.
And I imagine the people inside the Barbara can hear this howl. This like howl of deep anguish, right? Like a rattle that you've never heard, that kind of sorrow. And no one says anything on the inside of the Barbara. That's what I think.
And silently, Holmes takes off his nippers and puts them back on listing cough.
Oh!
Oh.
Oh! Listen, Cough,
Ow.
you're going to the deep.
Hi, buddy.
Oh, yeah.
So tragic.
That means we also don't have our cook. Oh,
Oh
Yeah.
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 Well, it's fine. We don't have any food.
Oh,
That
That
is
is
also true.
That is true.
oh,
Yeah.
fair.
Well,
Oh,
food yet.
Drac.
Yeah.
They're
If we
only.
end up with just Gordon and then get salvation, I
Oh,
am
where did that go?
capsizing him again.
There are only 6 survivors left, by the way.
I pulled a card, but it didn't appear.
Is it in your inventory?
No,
No.
I dragged it on, but it just didn't show
Oh.
up. So I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah, go ahead.
I did it again and it didn't appear. Okay, wait. How about now? Yeah, no, I've dragged like 3 cards and
Let me
none of
see.
them actually appearing on
What is that?
screen.
Oh, sometimes a weirdness happens. Here, let me do this.
That is true.
There you go.
Okay.
Because you can like
Of
click-
life.
Yeah, right. Yeah, there you go. Because you can click on the deck itself and click choose and then just pull it
yeah.
out.
Oh, too weak, too lost.
Was that like Too
Okay.
Fast, Too Furious? It's like a.
I
Yeah.
think so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but-
It's the sequel.
It's a sequel,
Nothing
but.
stronger than family. You know?
Okay.
Okay. I believe we are somewhere south and west of familiar waters, landed on a remote piece of ground in the Fox Islands. This isn't all academic, of course, because despite its grandeur, every place here is much the same, and the scale so vast that we will never be discovered. We are too weak to rescue ourselves and too lost to ever be found. Speak your truth.
Oh wow.
I think it has to be Portugal. Oh wait, no. I think Portugal's in there, Barbara. I think it's Portugal. He seems to be out of everyone the one that's like just the most aware of what's happening, what's going on. And I think again, even knowing this, he still has this is the thrill of going out like this, I suppose, rather than dying like of old age or working in a factory for years. This is like the way to go. So I think again he doesn't I think he does not only does he not mention this, but I think like whenever he hears probably Harris out of everyone
Yeah.
like being like it's fine, we'll be found, he like just in of course we'll be found. There's no way we won't be found. This island is very easy to find, blah blah blah. So it kind of like encourages the hope purely so that I guess he's the only one enjoying this thrill, I suppose.
Oh,
I think it's very twisted. Yeah.
oh wow. Oh, so is Portugal enjoying seeing their delusion? Like, does he get joy out of knowing that they're not going to make it?
Yeah, I think he enjoys that feeling of like knowing something that others don't know, and that plus the added very serious life or death, adrenaline and thrill of it. He savors it, I think. So I think he's probably one of the first to try his best to squash any doubt that they will survive.
Oh wow. Okay, this is my hell card then. I have got. Let me hit the choose and pull this out. The next card. Butter clams. Oh. Okay. Okay. Sure. This is good. I need to think about Harris, because Harris has not. This is Harris's first shipping out. Harris is not an experienced person, so Harris.
Kenneth too. Kenneth's first voyage.
Yeah.
Oh, it's both of them.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Because I think, let's see, Harris.
Yeah.
This is both of their first.
Okay. So this is how it's going to have to go. I'm going to have to play this out. So here's what it is. This is what I'm going to say. I'm going to read this. I'm going to read it, but I don't yet know whether it's Harris or Kenneth who says it. We'll just have to find out. Someone who knows better told me not to eat the butter clams I dug up. Said they were poison, but I was too hungry to listen. I ate them all raw, and now I'm wearing thin like a filthy apron and coughing up blood. And I can't talk right, and my vision is fading. I can't even remember my name or why I'm here. The scene I want to have is when Harris and Kenneth, and maybe Gordon and Portugal. I want them, right? Harris and Kenneth have the hope, right? So they go digging up the clams and they get these butter clams, but there's only enough for one person to eat. So only one of them is going to eat it. And I think the question becomes, who between those two is the one who actually eats the butter clams? Because they're friends and I think they want to have the other one have it. And I know that Portugal's an instigator and Gordon is Gordon.
And Gordon's full. Gordon's not hungry.
Gordon ate all that food, yeah. So I would like those four in a scene. I would like to be Gordon.
I'll be Kenneth again.
I'll be Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
Right, I'll be Harris.
Okay. Strix, will you be Mercury, our ghost seer, observing all of this?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm still on the beach, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
As our, yeah. Mm-hmm. Shouldn't drink those clams. Eat the clams. Eat the butter clams. Don't eat them. Don't eat them. Don't do it.
But why not?
Don't listen to Gordon. I think it's somehow found any.
Like clams are fine,
stuff.
right? They have like oyster bars and stuff. Clams and oysters are like the same thing, right?
They look fine. They look fine to me, but it definitely looks like there's only one. There's only, I mean, they look fine, but I will say it doesn't seem like you'll be able to feed more than just one person. So,
well, if that's the case, Kenneth, I think you should eat. You look thin.
Gordon pulls out a small bottle of alcohol that he's been hiding this entire time.
Portugal just gestures to Gordon as and like looks at Kenneth and Harris. See, you don't want to listen to anything that comes out of his mouth.
I mean, I guess maybe. I mean, they're probably not poison. But
I mean, they can't be, right? I mean, again, clams and oysters, like the same thing.
Hey.
I mean, they can be, I think, but I don't think these are. I think he means like.
No.
Why would they be
Like
called
food poisoning?
butter clams
So
if they weren't meant to be eaten?
You're not supposed to eat them, but you're not supposed to also steal.
I only steal the spotlight.
You keep drinking. You keep drinking.
Hey, guess what I found in the spot in the ship?
And Kenneth just grabs one and eats it
No.
to just I don't know, distract.
You shouldn't eat that. Portugal, why you tell me you shouldn't?
I'm not going to lie. It's a gross texture. I don't know what these rich people are thinking.
Oh, people eat this stuff all the time in Hollywood. It's like real, like caviar and like.
And then from
oysters.
outside, you just hear Merkley, "Would you all tuck it in there?"
There's in the butter clams. Somebody stole jewelry.
Somebody stole. Where did that come from?
This came from the boat. Jewelry. Somebody stole it.
Who?
I don't know. Look.
I feel. Are they a spicy food? Is this supposed to be like one of those naturally spicy?
I think they're an aphrodisiac. That kind of spicy, maybe.
I'm just holding like a string of pearls, right? Like this string
Where
of pearls.
Did you get those from?
Probably the clams.
The ship.
The shit.
Just, in between all of this looks so fond that came out of your mouth.
Hey, Kenneth, why are you bleeding out of your nose?
Why?
It's the clams. I told you.
And if you okay?
Did you hit your head when we like got on the?
I'm fine. It's fine. It's fine. Don't worry. It's fine.
All right. Well, here, take my handkerchief.
Thank you. Thanks.
Damn.
I mean, we got a lot of salt water.
We did.
Don't drink the salt water. Don't drink it.
That's
I know
one
that
thing
one.
You can listen to.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like any of us tried to drink. Tried.
Oh.
Oh.
Kenneth?
Holmes, Marcliffe.
Tried drink it. Tried drink it.
That's,
Oh dear. Kenneth, why don't you lie down a bit?
No, I'm.
You don't want to lie down? Maybe we can get some air. Like, take a little stroll outside. Yeah.
when you
And then
start
the,
vomiting blood. Yeah.
Oh.
And then the whole handkerchief is just starting to be soaked. And I have emetophobia, so we're
Yeah.
gonna pretend
Yeah.
throwing
Yeah.
up doesn't
Yeah.
exist. But just the blood is just starting to too much. It's starting to
Too much blood.
There's tears, little
Ooh.
pink tears, and it just panic. Just you, but nothing's coming out right, and it's just like on Harris, just like grabbing
Harris
like close.
Yeah, Harris just like shoulders like it's all right. You'll get out of your system. It'll be fine. Be fine.
And Gordon just stumbles out of the barber, leaving you two with Portugal.
Portugal turns to Harris. Help me lay him down. I'm no doctor, but I
Yeah.
can see what I can do.
Yeah.
And Portugal just do very. I don't know how much Harris knows about any medical procedures at all, but Portugal just goes through like the very stereotypical. He's fully aware it won't help at all, but like raises the head a bit. Like I don't know if we've like figured out or how many days has passed at this point, but if we figured out or found any like even the smallest amount of fresh water, if not, we won't. But like you'll definitely be like, okay.
Oh,
drink some
I
of
feel like this is something that goes down in 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like the blood is coming up,
Yeah.
and laying him down makes it worse because
Yeah.
he's choking on it.
Yeah.
Harris
They end up
is
being back up.
traumatized.
Won't let go of Harris. Is just clinging and is very
Harris won't
obviously
let go
trying
of
to say
Kenneth.
things.
Just all right.
It's just words are coming out and the urgency is there, and the emotion is there, but that nothing is coming out correctly. Everything is not even just out of order. It's not the right words. They're just not coming out. And the panic is growing because he can hear and you can see the distress of like this not coming out. What I want to say isn't coming out.
It's okay. You don't have to say anything. We're here.
Harris, if you can you go and find Holmes? They might have an idea of what.
Yeah. No.
Harris, it's okay.
Can you get Holmes?
I'll look after Kenneth. It's fine. Kenneth, Harris won't be gone for long. Okay.
Holmes. Just trying to yell to maybe see if just can summon Holmes via yelling.
Portugal would try and insist on getting Harris to leave, and I think like I'll be honest, I kind of played Portugal as this person anyway. I think once like if Harris does leave, once Harris leaves, Portugal like kind of drops the facade of trying to help and kind of just watches.
Yeah.
Kenneth, like,
if you can get Kenneth's hands off of Harris, that's the only way Harris will leave.
I think,
I'm pretty sure the grip strength is minimal.
Yeah.
Yes, Harris just doesn't have the mental strength to remove the grip.
Yeah. I can imagine Portugal just like escorting Kenneth, Harris out.
Yeah, pulling Kenneth back.
Yeah.
And then
what is going on in there?
Kenneth ate butter clams, blood everywhere. Just help. It's bad.
And Murcleaf just shakes his head and turns back looking at the ocean.
And Gordon's like sitting
seriously,
down.
He's just done. He just murdered his captain. He's out.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I think Gordon's singing a sea shanty, just like off in a corner. And
then Kenneth would return to the Barbara after.
Yeah.
But too late, of course.
Yeah.
No, Kenneth just looked at Portugal in fear and panic because he's just baby.
There's just crying. Not the howl of heartbroken despair, just the crying of losing your best buddy.
Yeah. I think you definitely like come back to a scene that at the very least to Harris, maybe not to the others the viewers who are fully aware, but he probably has like Kenneth's head on his lap to make it at the very least appear that he did his best.
Yeah. He comes back. He's still over there.
Brandy, it's your card.
Oh boy.
I don't know if you can't pull it out, I'll pull it out for you.
I can't.
Okay, I'll do it for you. This is yours. Oops. Oh, it's salvation. Oh,
hello.
Oh, wow. No.
Oh, okay. Do it.
God damn it.
This is our last card.
The schooner Albatross appears, and the beach is soon swarming with her cod dories. Survivors, speak your truth. Which is also perfect timing because I have to go. But
and we have 5 survivors left, and there are 5 of us. This is perfect.
Yep. Perfect.
Can I like add just something real quick?
Please.
Can this happen like literally moments after?
Oh, moments too late. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. Right before, and I imagine they have like, maybe they even have like water and some food, like some hardtack on the dories just in case.
Yep.
Yeah.
Somebody pick a survivor. Speak your truth.
I'll take Merculeaf. Merculeaf never stops seeing ghosts after that day, and the ghost he sees the most often is the captain, followed by the rest of his crew that didn't make it. But he lives on, and he gets on another boat because that's what Merculeaf does. Merculeaf boat hops, and I think he serves on the Albatross maybe for a little bit. Boat that picked him up.
I'll pick Holmes. So Holmes has been transformed by his experiences in this catastrophe. And he decides that he is done with fishing and that he's going to become a writer. And for the rest of his life, he chases what almost was between him and his lover by writing books that ache with the emptiness and unknowing of what love truly is when it's connected.
I'll take Portugal.
Do it.
I've made Portugal an awful person, so I want to lean into it as well. I think So let me check real quick what you know about Portugal.
He knows that somebody was lying about him, and it was Lilas.
Yeah,
Okay,
and then he
yeah.
saw the ship go under, and he thought they were too far beyond saving, and also,
He also was the one who knew that he would die. The ship would go down, and he would die on it.
yeah,
Yeah.
He was the only other person that knew that ship was not sound.
it was that ship's last
Yeah.
voyage.
Okay. I think I think after this, with how close to death he came, I think he definitely like snapped, but not the way that Captain Nicholson did. I think he snapped in a way like he tried to live a peaceful life, but after that experience, he just felt boring to him. Like just a 9 to 5, a happy wife and kids, it just wasn't enough for him. So I think soon after he got back on a ship, and no one knows why, but every ship he ends up on ends up sinking.
Wow.
After a few voyages.
Ooh.
Wow.
And he's usually one of the sole survivors.
Wow. Brandy, Harris, or Gordon?
I will take Harris.
Okay.
I think Harris is forever changed. Is traumatized, is forever changed. Never, ever, ever, ever sets foot on the ocean again. Just, I mean, on like a boat, never. Is just absolutely, does go to California. But all he'll do is tragedies and sad like monologues and one-man shows, and he's fascinating enough in his own right because it's so intense, his shows, but he never really gets massively famous because who wants to be sad all the time?
Yeah. Gordon has the jewelry that Kenneth had smuggled, and Gordon sells it, hawks it for not a lot of money, not as much as it's worth, right? Like he's like, oh, I got this stuff, okay, and he goes to some like really sort of divey place right on Barbary Coast to sell this stuff, and he gets like the equivalent of like $50 for it, which he then spends on alcohol, a lot of alcohol that's super cheap so he can get the most alcohol possible. And what he does is that he finds out whatever ship Portugal's on, and he books that ship as well. And he just sits drinking and watching Portugal and seeing if he'll make it again this time too. And it's this weird thing where he never speaks to Portugal about what happens. Ever. But he just keeps drinking more and more. And every time one of the ships goes down, he makes it back out, and he gets back on, and he finds Portugal, and gets on the ship, and he just watches Portugal. And Portugal can never, ever not see Gordon watching him, singing that sea shanty.
I love that.
Oh! Everyone, that was the Isabel.
Yeah.
The end! Oh
That
my
was a
goodness.
beautiful ending. Very happily ever after, honestly.
Yeah. Everyone had a happy ending. If we could, I would love for us to go around, say who you are, and then give like your out processing thoughts about this moment. Like we're here together with each other to give each other some love. So if give your out processing thoughts in this moment as 1888 turns to 1889, and I think we should just start with Brandy Rose because you got some stuff to do.
I do. I have a stream in about 5-ish minutes again, or I'll be on TTRP GIFs, Encanto One Shot as Isabella, which means I have to yank this top off, grab different top, all that shit. But hi everybody, I'm Brandy Rose. I am at the Brandy Rose on Twitter. I do a lot of things. I'm the head of Patoot Podcasts. I also stream on Twitch at Cutest Patoot. And I'm a game designer. And today I got to be on a very cool show and talk about it on Critical Misses. So from that, I think there will be many cool new opportunities coming, hopefully. We will see. But yes, keep up with me on Twitter at the Brandy Rose. And I am never getting on a boat. I'm never getting on a boat. I used to sail, but now you can't pay me to get on a boat. And certainly after today, No. But I can appreciate the beautiful ocean from afar at a safe distance where I don't have to be confronted with the fact that we know nothing about it, which is both cool and fascinating and terrifying. I have a very healthy respect for nature and the ocean, and that just continues, that maintains. But yes, this was a very fun game, very cool. I love a storytelling game. I love collaborating with amazing people like you guys to create these cool, unique stories. And that's my closing thoughts on the ocean and fishing, which I will never do, and on this really cool game, and on being able to be on the stream with you guys. So thank you guys so much for having me.
Lindy,
You know I love you, Trooper.
I love you too. You know, because also.
Hadigerel.
Ja, genau. Also Lindy. Sorry, I'm not going to be speaking German to Lindy.
No.
Sorry.
Switch.
Yeah,
it.
switch back.
It's
Switch back.
fine. But yeah. Hi, it's me. I'm Lindy. This was super fun. I could definitely see the story going a whole lot of different ways depending on who gets what cards and how soon salvation comes. Because there's a lot.
We had more
going
cards
on
left.
there.
More people that died, I think.
Yep. Oh yeah. It's great. I really certain characters turned out so interesting, and certain ones just got no cards until they got nuked. So it was interesting to see which ways they kind of gravitated towards. So I definitely enjoyed the game. Had a wonderful time playing. You can find me online at LaughLoveLindy, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, etc. I stream tabletop RPGs, play in them. I'm an addict. It's fine. You can find me tomorrow night with Trooper on Praxagora Thesmophorius channel for some Witcher, and you can find me on my own channel on Monday and Tuesday night for some Innistrad and a little bit of Ravenloft wrap up, and soon other fun things in the works. So stay tuned for that.
And your thought about the ocean?
Oh, the ocean? I mean, I live right there. It's literally like if I walked out and like did this, I could see it. At least the Gulf of Mexico. What I do when I go to the beach is I walk into knee high and then I sit because I'm not the strongest swimmer, and you don't fuck with the ocean. It's just it fucks back. It fucks hard.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my life lesson about the ocean for today.
Drac.
Hi, I'm Draconics, or Drac for short. You can find me on Twitter at Draconics. That's DRAKONIQUES. I kind of stream all over the place as like I said, a teacher, RPG performer. On Tuesdays now, premiering on this Tuesday at 4 p.m. Pacific. No, 4 p.m. Eastern. I'm gonna be over on Table Story in a new campaign that's starting called Kingmakers, which I'm very excited about. On Wednesdays, I'm over at Rule of Law in a cyber system campaign called Infinite Horizon, where I play a time-traveling lizard alien, and that's happening at 6 p.m. Pacific on Wednesdays. On Fridays, I'm over on Key Times at 6 p.m. Pacific again, in a Pathfinder 2nd edition campaign called Parliament of Owls, which is an all-villain campaign, which is a ton of fun. And also every third Sunday of the month, you can hear my voice in the Actual Play podcast called Super Riders RPG. It's a mask campaign where you play pop idols plus magical girls kind of meshed together, which is a ton of fun. My parting words is this was a lot of fun. I'm always a fan of like you're most likely to be doomed kind of games. So this thing is a ton of fun to confront that and still make an interesting story through it. I'm still going to stay as far away as I can from the ocean as possible. I don't need to do that. I don't need to be around that, so I won't, hopefully. But it's fun pretending to be near it.
I love that. And the Strix.
Yes. So I'm Strix, the _STRIX on Twitter. I love being talent and playing an actual play shows, as long as I don't have to run them. That's the rule. So I don't ever stream on my own, but you'll see me around opportunities like this when they come up. I would like to remind everyone that we just finished working on the Radiant Citadel, which is a TTRPG book from Dungeons and Dragons that will be coming out in this summer, and it is written entirely by people of color. It's a first in D&D history. It's a big deal. It's beautiful, it's well done, and the quality of the writing is very high. I know, because I saw it all, and I have very high standards. My day job is that I'm the narrative director at Hidden Path Entertainment, where we are currently making a AAA Dungeons and Dragons RPG. And that is all I can say about it, because it's unannounced. So yeah, that's me.
The ocean?
Oh, my opinion has not changed. I love the ocean. People are the problem.
As we learned on the ship.
Like I feel like deep respect for the ocean.
Yeah.
It is very dangerous, but if you know it really well, you can navigate. And I would rather be in the ocean with a pair of fins and a mask than on a boat with people like that any day.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. And I'm troopersjp, and I put a link because this game, Desperation, has two scenarios in it, and it's currently in crowdfunding. So if you want to go and kickstart it, please do, and then you can get, you can get the physical cards, PDF, you can get all the different things, and it's the physical stuff looks really, really cool. I'm going to kickstart it myself because I actually want the physical cards so I can sit around with folks and just play it one day. Found it really fun, really exciting. And I have to say, you can find me, what is today? Today's Saturday? Tomorrow, 8 p.m. over at Practical The Smophoria, where I play a sex worker criminal in The Witcher. And also on Fridays on my channel for City of Light and Shadow, 7 p.m. Eastern, for, some good French resistance. And next Saturday, same time, same channel, will be the other scenario, which is all about a blizzard in Kansas on the plains, and it's called Dead House, because I don't think there's going to be enough food, and I think that it's going to not work out well for everybody, and I think there might be some murder.
Cannibalism, love it.
There might be some cannibalism.
If you're watching this,
I thought we might
so
get
precious.
to cannibalism tonight, and I was like, "Ooh, we're gonna hit cannibalism." We didn't.
No, there might be, those cards might be there, and so
Might be
I
there.
love Jason Morningstar so much.
Me too, so much. So thank you all for being here, and I want to thank the players because you were wonderful to play with, and I loved what everybody brought to it, and the characters, how they developed in such really neat and interesting ways, and I'm so excited for Holmes's like deep, like ocean-faring novels, and like tragic Harris doing a lot of Hamlet, and people being like, wow, that's a lot of Hamlet, like I'm ready for all of that, and like the weird Merculif, like the weird Gordon Portugal situation where they're like, yeah, I just feel like someone's gonna get murdered sooner or later. Probably. But thank you all of you who have watched. Thank you for supporting, for being here. Go check out the crowdfund, and support good games. Go watch good shows. Hydrate, stretch your legs, and remember, all of those things that people said were mythology, like sea creatures, they're clearly real, because the Great Kraken does exist. There are giant squid that are 100 feet long, and oarfish, so all of that is all there in the deep. Think about that for excitement. And go and watch the documentary Step Into Liquid. It's really cool. That's it. Thank you, everybody, and, take care of yourselves. Take care of yourselves. Bye, everybody.
Bye.